Right, so we're back, and today we're going to be looking at 5 books every writer should read. Now, this is just from my perspective and what I have recommended to people before. Gave you a bit of a sneak peek there, but what I recommend to people before. And yeah, let's get straight into it, because why not? The first book, and I apologize for how bad these covers look, it's just because I've been reading them a lot. So yeah, the first book is Dune by Frank Herbert. I know, people are going to be like, this is a boring suggestion, everyone suggests this, and can you not come up with something new? But for me, Dune is a classic, much like other classics, and the way Frank Herbert writes it, with almost a tension in the storytelling, is something every writer could look at, and it's the primary reason why I put this as one of the top books to read for writers. The tension in the storytelling, the writing, the words used, it's unique to Frank Herbert, and it's his style. And building a writing style is paramount when it comes to writing, and especially publishing. So yeah, Frank Herbert's Dune as the first book. Right, next one. This cover is absolutely destroyed. It's because I love this book so much. It is Michael Lewis's The Big Short. The Big Short is haunting, dark, disastrous in the story it's telling, and it hurts, but the way it's written, even though it's a non-fiction book and it's about real lives and real stories, and it's a heartbreaking real story about the 2008 financial crisis, The Big Short is almost written like a Hollywood movie. And I mean, it makes sense, it's got a Hollywood movie. It hurts reading, and Michael Lewis does such a good job of making you feel the words that are on the page. For me, and especially those that are non-fiction writers, Michael Lewis is the #1 author I feel every writer should read if you want to build that story of trying to make a story into something which is easy to read, and it's easy to understand. Michael Lewis does such a good job of making you feel everything that is written inside this book. Number 3, and maybe a book that not a lot of people have read, but to me it's really stunning, and it's a book that has really sat with me for a long time. The book is In Therapy by Susie Orbach. Orbach. God, I can't speak. In Therapy is very interesting in the way it's written. It's written as if you're in the therapy sessions, as sort of someone looking at what's going on at the current point when they're talking. So it's a lot of dialogue and a lot of analysis of that dialogue. But the reason why I recommend it is because it's kind of a strange way to write, and for large parts it feels like a movie script, like you're reading a script. And that to me is such a very interesting way to go about writing, especially in a book format. And again, I use it especially when talking to writers as a point, because to go and show that you don't have to write in one specific structure. You can look at the book and look at the manuscript you're writing, and you can make it your own. It's your vision, it's your story. How you feel is best in terms of how you want to write it. Go ahead and write it that way. Just because one person says you have to write it this way does not mean that you have to write it that way. Write it as you feel the story will be best told. Susie Orbach does a really good job in terms of making it her own book, her own style. And again, yes, a lot of it is from notes from her therapy sessions, but again, it's such a haunting book to read because there are so many disclosures, there are so many, and because it's written in dialogue form, you feel the emotion of the person that is talking to the therapist. So yeah, that'd be the third book I recommend. The fourth would be Orbital by Samantha Harvey, award-winning book, Orbital. How do I even describe this? It's, for me, a book and the number one book that every writer should read, because it's so good at putting you in the place of where it's being told. It's so good at description. It's so good of making you feel and making you belong in the place, the setting. And that for me is why I always recommend Orbital to writers. Of course, it's already got the recognition, but yeah, it deserves that recognition 100%. Finally, a little bit of a cop-out one, but Free for All by Syed, Saim, Ali. When I first read the manuscript for Free for All, I was blown away by the descriptions, by the story at hand, and by the creativity in the book. Again, for writers coming up and through Drylam Ltd Publishing, our publishing house, I always urge them to take a look at Free for All, especially as an example of how to get the best out of the story that you're trying to tell. Well, there we have it. There is our 5 books that I would recommend to every writer. If you agree with the suggestions, let me know down in the comments. If you think I'm chatting rubbish, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, if you enjoy writing and or publishing content, this is the sort of stuff we publish from a publishing house's perspective. So yeah, give us a follow and stay up to date with everything we've got. All links to our other parts of our publishing house are down below if you want to check us out. And until then, peace.